What's up, cyberpunks and retro nerds? It's Tommy the Hammer kicking it with my good buddy the Dreaded Dean.
What's going on, Internet?
Today we are going to be doing a video game review for the old PS4. Dean, what did you bring us today?
Well, I picked up the remake of Secret of Mana. You know, the game that the Internet fucking hates.
Yeah, pretty much. I've heard nothing but poor reviews for this remake, including a good friend of ours told me that it was absolute crap. But I gotta be honest, I haven't played the original Secret of Mana in well over a decade.
In a peaceful land, paradise is threatened by an unspeakable evil, and only one person has found the power to restore perfect order. In a new action-adventure game for your Super NES comes an exciting tale, The Secret of Mana, from Square, maker of the world's greatest video games.
Back in the day, it was on the SNES, a classic system, and I remember liking it a lot, but I'm a little hazy on what this game is about. So, Dean, you've played the original since back in the day. You've played this latest interpretation. What do you think about it, man?
Well, to start off, I just want to say Squaresoft has always been one of my favorite companies of all time. I love the Final Fantasy series. Before Final Fantasy 3 came out, players, all they really had to play was, fucking Mystic Quest? I mean, it's alright, but it's no Final Fantasy 3 or 6. So anyway, we started getting other Squaresoft titles like Secret of Mana and Secret of Evermore, and it was pretty much the start of RPG beat-em-ups, or I guess nowadays they just call them RPGs.
Right, yeah, there's like, in a lot of ways also, the Secret of Mana and Secret of Evermore was like the precursor to like the whole active time battle in a lot of ways, you know, so this is very prolific in the world of video games, in my opinion anyways, you know.
Right, so like, you kiddies out there are probably playing Dark Souls or playing the new Zelda. Well, this was basically the granddaddy of that type of game.
Oh yeah, man, and I'm stoked to check this out.
Alright, Tom, let's do this. So I'm pretty excited because I'm like right near the end, so we'll be able to videotape some cool stuff. Now, actually, wait. How do I get my save file from my Vita to your PS4?
I'll look it up. My trusty phone. Yeah, Dean, I don't know. Looks like that cross-save thing is a no-go.
Well, then what the hell did I buy it on the Vita for?
Yeah, man, I don't know. But let's do this.
Alright, well, sadly, since I can't use my data on Tom's PS4, I gotta start a new game and play through till I get the other character that can be playable, so Tom can actually review the game too.
You seem to be in possession of the real Mana Sword. This is troubling. The legend says the sword can only be retrieved by a knight when the world is in peril.
I've got big shoes to fill, but I'll protect the world like my mother and father.
Now you're talking! That's why you're my #1 subordinate!
Now that most of the people of the land have lost their souls, Thanatos will be unstoppable.
So we just got done playing about an hour's worth of the new Secret of Mana remake for the PS4. You know, I gotta admit, I like this game. I don't really see where all the detractors are coming from necessarily.
I thought I was going to be able to use my save data that I already had that's a bummer. Like, you could do that in, let's say, like Final Fantasy X. Like, I have the physical version of Final Fantasy X for my PS3. I have the Vita version. You can cross it. And I think that's awesome. That's how it should be. Square dropped the ball on this one.
Putting the cross-save problem aside, I feel like this game, more or less, gets a lot of things right. You know, at first I didn't really remember the original Secret of Mana game, but as I was playing this one and talking to Dean a little bit and letting the soundtrack kind of permeate the air in the room, it was sending me back. And that's the best thing I can say about this new game is the nostalgia factor. It sent me back to an era where top-down 16-bit RPGs that you took your time with, you swished it around a little bit in your mouth, and just let the overall ambiance of the game kind of take you over. That's what this is. And in today's day and age of boom, 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 wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, video games, I feel like a remake of Secret of Mana, there's no room for it in today's society. So maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe, you know, all the new games that are coming out are overshadowing this. If I did have to voice a complaint, it's that there is a certain air, a certain element to the whole affair that feels like, I don't know, there's something missing. Almost as if the game developers maybe lost production halfway through developing the game.
Maybe they just ran out of money.
I mean, who knows? Really, honestly.
I could see that. Because, like, even though, like, I don't feel like it's as lazy of a port as, say, like, say Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger when it came to Steam, or when they came to Steam, like, there was a lot of complaints on how they tried to redo the sprites, and, like, just don't fuck with the sprites, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna remake a game, you gotta build it from the ground up and bring something new to the table. This game kind of does. It renders the characters in full polygon, and one other thing that kind of bothered me was there was no razzle-dazzle to it outside of that. You know, they could have added maybe a camera effect, let you revolve around the character completely. I don't know.
The original is, 26 years old now. It's been around for a while, and I think the biggest appeal of the game is for, if I had kids, I don't, but if I had kids, like, I think my kids would appreciate this game more than maybe, like, to some random PS4 owner, because I love the original so much, and I have so many nostalgic memories with it. There are a lot of things that, you know, like he was saying, it almost seems like maybe they've lost, they you know, didn't have enough money to finish what they were envisioning. The improved graphics and the voice acting, like those little additions, like I think that'll draw new players in. Where, like, I hear a lot of complaining about the voice acting, which some of the conversations that are had between the three heroes, it's a little cheesy, but
it's nowhere near like Mighty Number 9 level of cheesy.
Right, it's not that bad.
Some kids today, they can't play 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit games because they find the element to be off-putting. And I understand that. I mean, different strokes for different folks. So when they remake a game, you know, fully polygon like this, I get where they're coming from. So, you know, it's like Dean was saying, this is the perfect starting point. If you've got a kid and you're trying to show them what you were raised on without them being bored by those old school sprites.
And a lot of people complain about the music. If you don't like the new tracks, you can switch over to the original tracks. But I think me and Tom agreed that the new tracks fit really well.
I didn't think I haven't heard the whole game, obviously we only played about an hour's worth, but not one of the new tracks I found to be off-putting. I did notice that there were some guitar elements which were like, okay, that's weird. Everything else is like pan flutes and sitars and fantasy elements, and all of a sudden it's like rock guitar out of nowhere. But I didn't feel like it disrupted the flow of things. It was actually coinciding with the scene. At the end of the day, we got to give it a star count, because that's how we roll on Neon Trash. And, you know, for only playing this for an hour, and the nostalgia factor, we were raised on the original version of the game, I think this is a pretty good one. If the first game is like an 8 or a 9...
If you would have asked me as a kid, I would have said straight up 10.
I'd give 7.5. What about you, Dean?
Like I said at the beginning, the cross-save feature just didn't work. So I've been playing this on my Vita, which actually isn't the worst way to play it because I played Final Fantasy Adventure on my Game Boy when I was a little kid, and this is the sequel to Final Fantasy Adventure. So it's like, it kind of reminds me of that time when I would play, handheld games, and this is actually a perfect game for handheld because it's like a bite-sized adventure. Like, even though I love this game, and I'm glad they remade it, and I think the internet shat on it too much.
Oh, too much, yeah.
I'm only gonna give it a 7 compared to Tom's 7.5.
Wow, even less. I'm a little surprised. Huh.
Only saying because out of merit of games today, like, they could have done better. They started putting out lazy ports, like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI to Steam, and like, even though this game is near and dear to my heart, I'm glad I bought it. Only a 7. If you have the same outlook as I do, where you played it when you were a kid, and you want to play it for the PS4 or the Vita, but you've heard so many bad things about it, like, you're gonna enjoy it. It'll be, like, you played the first one a million times, try the new one. The graphics, I wouldn't say are better, but they're of this generation, and if you like to collect trophies, it's really fun to get all the trophies, and it's like a new way to play the game. So that's what I've been enjoying lately, actually, is getting all the trophies. And, the trophies can add to an old game that you played too much, so...
Gives it that little extra spice, if you will.
So, like, I feel bad not giving it a 9 or a 10, because, like, I would have given the original a 9 or a 10, but, like, in this day and age, where you have a million choices, I'm only gonna give it a 7.